Hi everybody, this is the first rendition of To the Needles. This is an idea that came about after a white woman on Twitter said, "Black women, counting on you to save us. We can't keep doing this." At Candace Benbow. "Barbara, this is Shirley. We will not be doing that. You need to order a few pumpkin lattes, swing by Michael's and get some yarn, host a knitting party, and explain to your cohort why they need to get their shit together." I have my yarn, have my looms, have my coffee. I'm going to discuss with you the importance of voting while I teach you how to make a hat. This is what we're looking at coming out with. I am using a bulky yarn. If you look on the back of this, you will see it has a number 6, and that will just make it go a lot faster. Things that you will need: grab one skein of yarn. You can pick up a pack of looms. You have all of these different sizes. So we got some like small ones. These are really great for like scarves. This is like the kid size for a hat if you want. And then we're generally going to be working with these two larger sizes. This is the standard size for a snug fit hat. This is going to be the looser fit hat. This is going to be a bigger weave. When you purchase a pack of these looms, it also comes with a hook and a yarn needle. You'll see that this little plastic thing, it has space big enough to put yarn through. You'll see that it'll have like this little start end up here, but you don't want to use that one. So you want to dig inside, find the other end. For some reason, I cannot find the end of this. It's super important to vote. Vote in state and local election. In every election that you have, it took this long for me to actually find the end of it. You need to make your voice heard. I've been voting since I was 18 years old. Many things have shaped the way I vote. I've moved around the country a lot. I've lived in massive cities and small cities. Population density does play into how somebody votes. I will include the link to that fantastic article in the description below. We have the end of our yarn. You're going to take this and you're going to wrap it around, just straight up wrap it around a couple times, because you just want it to hold on. You have all of these little notches, and then around each one you're going to wrap counterclockwise and then move to the next one clockwise. So we're wrapping counterclockwise, moving clockwise all the way around. You can check if you're registered to vote by going to iwillvote.com. It has all kinds of information about registration, if you're registered, figuring out where you can vote, and figuring out what's on your ballot. That's also very important. You want to know what you're voting for. You want to know who you're voting for. So, okay, so we've gone all the way around. Now we're going to do another ring around, just like sitting right on top of this. Know if there are propositions on your ballot, what all is being voted on. Every 2 years, all of your representatives to Congress are re-elected. Pull it out for us, Alabama. We've made it all the way around. You can see you have like the 2 sections here. And then I've just wrapped this around this little nubbin again. See, there's indents here. Is we're gonna hook this under and we're gonna pull it right over. Hook it under, pull it over. Just go all the way around doing this, and just make sure you do not let this part wrapped around. Don't let that go, because it'll all come undone. I started getting flashes of 2016 the other day when I started seeing all of the polling that said Biden has a 91% chance to win. Guess what they said in 2016? Hillary had a 91% chance to win, and look where we ended up. It's just, I was horrified, honestly. I was horrified. There's a lot going on there, right? Okay, so here's what it looks like. I've done all the way around. Now we're going to unwrap your continuation and then start winding it around all of them again. 91% chance. Just keep winding around all of them. A lot of people either stayed home. Okay, so I've gone around in a circle again. We are ready to pull the next row over. Okay, I knew back then that my family they're not fans of Clinton. I voted for Bernie in the primary, but I was on board with Clinton because I knew what Trump would do. Well, I didn't know exactly. Clearly, we knew it was a scary, scary thing. So I've gone around again. We're gonna loop. We're just gonna keep looping like this until we have this part is gonna be about 4 to 5 inches long. I don't understand how someone who claims to be such an American patriot can wave a flag of a president. During the last election, when people either didn't show up to vote, or they wrote in other candidates themselves, whomever they decided to write in. That's how we got here. About 46% of the population of voting eligibility did not vote. Here we are in this mess. Register and vote. But I do feel that it's important. We may not agree. We all kind of want the same things. We're not as different as we think. The more we talk about things, the more we realize we're on the same page. There are so many buzzwords that have been thrown around that get people fired up. We're not that far apart. Those topics are for future renditions of To the Needles. Today, it's all about starting this hat and voting. If you go to iwillvote.com, you can dig into how to vote, where to vote, what to do, what's on your ballot. We're voting for pre-K for San Antonio. I feel like it's a great idea. Personally, I don't have any kids. I am happy to pay more in taxes here in San Antonio if it means that other people with kids can have that child care. So many people vote in their own self-interest. Instead of voting for what's best for you personally, cast your vote for the person who has the least amount of privilege that you know, or that person who you don't know who is struggling right now, or who can't make ends meet, or who was separated from their family at the border. 545 children's parents cannot be found right now. Is that not insane? There's just so much that's going on, and I feel like instead of voting for yourself, instead of voting for what's right for me, a cis, white, bisexual female in Texas, like, I have a lot more privilege than so many other people just in San Antonio alone. We all can contribute to the betterment of each other's lives. If it hadn't been for each other, I think, having lived through, now this is the second major recession, the third if you count the 1999 dot-com bubble. There was also the savings and loan fiasco of the 80s. There's so much going on that we as a generation of millennials, when I say millennials, I'm not talking about the 17-year-olds of today that y'all are like Gen Z. Millennials are adults under 40, but we've lived through a lot, okay? Recessions and September 11th and wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. There's so much. We've had it real hard. I want you to think about the person who doesn't have the privileges that you do. I want you to think about the person who maybe works 3 jobs to try to make ends meet, who sits in their car after work and cries because they don't know how they're going to make another job work, or make their bills this month, or cover work if their kid gets sick. Like, there's so many different things out there. And you know what? It's just you in the voting booth. Nobody is standing over your shoulder. It's just you and your ballot. And you can vote however you want. And here's a little secret. You can go into that voting booth if you're a conservative, and you can mark down Biden-Harris for president. And then you can leave that voting booth and turn in your ballot and walk out of that polling place and say, hell yeah, I voted for the current president. And no one ever has to know. I hope that you will join us. I was really hoping that, Black women wouldn't have to come in and save us again. I was hoping that, the white demographic could try to fix these problems. I was really hoping that Biden would pick Elizabeth Warren, but I'm totally good with Kamala Harris. And as much as it pains me that we are depending on a Black Indian woman to save us, it's absolutely historic that we have a Black Indian woman for a vice presidential candidate. And it makes me so happy that she's there rocking her Converse, dancing in the rain. She's awesome. And hopefully we will have lots and lots of Saturday Night Live cold opens in the years to come, and let Mama go to work. Until then, iwillvote.com. Make your plan to vote. Figure out where you have to go. If you can vote early, vote early. If you can only vote on the day, figure out how you can vote. If you have to get up early before work or make it to the polls after work, whatever you have to do, be prepared to stay in line. There has been so much uproar about what we first saw as enthusiasm, getting to the polls early. The rest of the world is telling us is actually voter suppression. We should never have to wait in line for hours to cast our vote. How to end voter suppression. Get on board with Stacey Abrams out in Georgia today. Vote. Figure out your plan. Get to the polls. get your sticker. I would love to see it. Tag me on, whatever, hashtag To The Needles. I want to see your voting. I want to see your projects, and we will go from there. Next time, hopefully, I will have 4 to 5 inches of this, and I will show you how to make the headband part of it. I don't know, I'll come up with a word for it. I can't think about it now. And I'll show you how to complete this. So until then, happy voting.